Rishi Sunak and his government are facing a rebellion led by two senior backbench Tory MPs, Boris Johnson and Liz Truss. Welcome back to the channel. The circus that is the bubble is a gift that keeps on giving. So we know that Rishi Sunak and his pledge to have unity didn't last too long. Lasted for about, actually I did count, it lasted 12 minutes. Well done, Rishi Sunak. 12 minutes of unity. And then since then, the Tories have been going down worse than how it was under Liz Truss. A lot of people assume that if Rishi Sunak could complete his coup against Liz, then the opinion polls will be in his favour. In reality, they are causing a potential rise of Reform UK. Now, this is about a new rebellion led by Liz Truss and Boris Johnson, two former prime ministers. Now, this is a fascinating story because all this is over the row over the issue of the Levelling Up and Regeneration Bill. And this is over the amendment on the onshore wind ban. And this ban on onshore wind was actually supported by Boris Johnson at some point. Now he's against it. And so he and Liz are trying to start this rebellion and go against the government. Things are changing, obviously, in terms of the energy security. And this is causing more division inside the Tory HQ. More than 50 Tory MPs have already thrown their weight behind a separate effort to free local councils and from government house building targets. So that's just one area. Then you've got the onshore wind issue. And the amendment on onshore wind is the first outright act of open dissent from government policy as backbenchers when it comes to Boris Johnson and Liz Truss. And also, when it comes to Liz Truss's, one of Liz Truss's right-hand man, Clark, he said, because he's leading it, people across the Conservative Party are getting behind this amendment because it's pro-growth and pro-green in a time when we ought to stand for both. How can you do both? Okay. I mean, if you can, then fine. I don't think you can do pro-green and pro-growth at the same time unless you let the enterprise and the free market to do it rather than government. But I don't exactly know what their plan is. I don't really exactly know how much centralization is going to include in terms of the actual leveling up and localization. So when it comes to local councils and planning systems, are you going to be getting the big businesses, windmills and everything else to just override local consent? Or are you actually going to go through local process? It's all about that. And I know some people say, well, this is a very niche area of discussion. It does matter. Everything, every battle that is local and regional is national. Everything starts from somewhere. And if we don't stop this nonsense, then how are we going to stop anything else that's going to happen? So I know we still have just over a year left till the next election, basically. We still have to protect the country until then against this government and the incompetence of Rishi Sunak and Jeremy Hunt. To be fair, it's not really incompetence. The problem I have with Jeremy Hunt and Rishi Sunak and the cabal is that with some of the bad policies, they're quite competent. So they're actually proactively damaging the country, and we have to stand up against it. Let's come back in half an hour. There is a new attack ad done by Reform UK and Richard Tice against the Tory government. Let's go to that in half an hour. Subscribe to the channel. I'm Tousi and we are the media.